everybody. What day is today? Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome so much. Welcome to today's stream. We're trying something a little different today where not only can anybody watch, but anybody can comment. Oh, excited. Behave. We're going to have a great time. It seems to be going so fast that if you want to troll, good luck to you. And there's super chat on, and also I put it on 3 minutes. I'm so glad that so many of you want to chat. Maybe I should put this on 5-minute interval. Should I put this on 5 minutes? Well, I want to make sure you guys can be able to get your chance to say hi. All right, I shall do the 5. That's as long as I can do it. All right, let's try it that. All right, it's on the 5 minutes, 5-minute slow mode. We have a lot of fun things to talk about today. Now, usually live streams are only for members to comment. But so instead, though, I'm going to try at least once, it'll probably be every other week. Every other week, one stream will be open to all, and we'll see how that works out, just to open it up a little bit to others. But for the most part, only members can comment. I see some new people have joined. Insomnatic 101, welcome. Let me give a shout out. If you join during a live stream, I'll give you a shout out as soon as you join. And at the end of the stream, I will do a bunch of shout outs. And for those of you who are participating today as non-members, you'll get a chance to be a part of that. It's going by, so many people are commenting. That's great. Davey Thomas, thank you also for joining. All right, so let's see. Somebody else just joined. I said hi to them. Oh, hey, Obachina. I like seeing when you guys have your photos. That's just so nice. All right, so the way these live streams work is that I will do the 3 stories of the day, okay? Oh, the pictures are from yesterday's stream? What? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, you get to see me fix something live. Thank you to those putting in a super chat. Hey, Matt Layton. I saved it, but I guess I didn't export it. Did it work? Come on. Let me just fix this. I'm sorry. There we go. All right. Thank you for bearing with me on that. Okay. Oh, look, somebody gifted memberships. Jerry gifted some more memberships. Jerry, that's so kind of you. Jerry just gifted 10 memberships. Hey, Thomas Clark. All right, so let's get started on these stories, and then, of course, you can talk to me during the stream, and then at the very, very end of the stream, you can ask me anything you like for the final 10 minutes, okay? Hey, Big Boss. All right. Everyone can see the screen now, right? It's working, everything's fixed, right? Alex, you can't, I'm sorry, I see you just asked me a question now. I appreciate that. I'm going to answer questions at the end of the stream after I cover these 3 stories. That's how the streams work. All right. Hey, Matt Damrich. All right, so story number 1. Boop. All right, so very, very interesting. We know that Warner Brothers has been working very hard Warner Brothers Discovery has been working very hard to rebuild itself. And they are, not only not afraid to copy Disney, but they're not afraid to ask Disney specifically, or the former people who used to run Disney, to help. Now, Bob Iger has been advising David Zaslav because he hates Bob Chapek so much. He created him. He created his own nightmare. But now, that person that Bob Iger is with is Alan Horn. And it was announced today that Alan Horn has signed on to be a consultant at Warner Brothers Discovery. Hey, Evan. So Alan Horn is going to be a consultant. Now, he doesn't have an actual job at Warner Brothers Discovery, but apparently he can just call people up and be like, this is what I think you should do. And then they don't have to listen to him, by the way, because he has no authority. He's just getting paid. Hey, Wyatt Parker. It's Zante. Once again, gifted 10 memberships. Zante got this all started. Oh, thank you, Jose. Oh, and what a cute little sticker. That's so cute. You're amazing. Alan Horn has been gifted. He's been gifted an advisory role at Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, this is really interesting, and just to show you what musical chairs it is in Hollywood. Thank you, Angela. Alan Horn actually became famous working for Warner Brothers. So back in the day when Alan Horn was at his prime, he's still at his prime basically, but when he was really becoming successful, Alan Horn built up Warner Brothers. Thank you, Insomatic. He's the one who built up Warner Brothers. But then after he helped get the Harry Potter movies launched, Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, all this stuff was Alan Horn. He got forced out of the company because, it's a tale as old as time. Someone else comes in, they want their own people in there, they get rid of the people who are currently there. So Alan Horn, who picked him up? Bob Iger. Bob Iger said, I think Alan Horn's very talented, I want him to help me with Disney. And that's why I've included that picture there. You see beneath Alan Horn and Bob Iger, there's a picture from D23 when they were showing off all of their brands with the inclusion of Fox. That little tiny person up there is Alan Horn. Oh, Michael also gifted some memberships. You guys are so generous. So that's Alan Horn. Alan Horn's right there. He's like, hey, everybody. So he was running Disney. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining. He was running Disney and also Disney's heyday. So I think it's very interesting that the two most powerful people at Disney, Bob Iger and Alan Horn, are helping the competition now, Warner Brothers. Bob Iger, you can understand because he's ticked off about Bob Chapek. But what did anyone do to Alan Horn? I guess Alan Horn, it was his idea to leave Disney. He didn't get forced out. He was like, I don't want to work here. He was like, I'm going to kind of retire. And I guess it's because they offered him this advisory role. Thanks, Boods. So we'll see. Here's my question. When are we going to start seeing results, right? Like, this is all well and good, but, Bob Iger's been consulting Warner Brothers Discovery for a while now, and it's still not, it's still struggling. Like, did they talk to anybody about their Comic-Con presentation? I would hope that they did, where they're like, maybe we should consult with some people as to whether or not we've really messed up on this. But they didn't. So here are the DC brands that they should really be utilizing. Like, look at that lineup of Disney brands, right? That's so impressive. Warner Brothers is capable of having their own lineup. They have DC, Wizarding World, Monsterverse, which is Godzilla, King Kong, Mortal Kombat, The Matrix, Lord of the Rings movies, although of course Amazon has the upcoming series, Game of Thrones, which they're trying to revive with House of the Dragon, Westworld. I think Westworld's so good right now, they could make that a thing. And then horror with James Wan's work and also Stephen King. No, Mike, I'm sorry, Fast and Furious is Universal. Hey, Eric Teague. Oh, Armando, that little doggy with the heart is adorable. So I'm curious. I want to make sure this is interactive, and especially because so many of you can interact today. What do you think are the best Warner Brothers franchises? Which ones do you think are the things I know everyone's going to say Wizarding World and DC, but which ones do you think aren't getting enough love and they aren't doing enough with? I mean, they just lost the Harry Potter movies to Peacock starting at the end of this month, which is so dumb. You're like, how'd that happen? Isaacs, I think that's true. And, Lloyd also mentioned it. They don't do enough with TCM. They don't, they have a really good library of classic films, on HBO Max, but they're still not doing enough with TCM. TCM is one of the great, when Robert Osborne ran it, or was the head talent, it was the greatest thing ever. It was like just a film lover's paradise. And it's never recovered from his unfortunate passing. I actually met Robert Osborne once. I was walking outside the Plaza Hotel in the back. Hey, Luis. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Robert Osborne. And I just had to stop him and say, you made such a big difference in my life. And he was very gracious. I was gracious. He was gracious. It was a great interaction. Thanks for joining, Boods. So yeah, they've tried to replace him with other hosts, but just nobody's been able to do as good a job. It's a shame. But yeah, there's like some really good, Warner Brothers Animation. You're right, Lloyd Lester. They had done some good stuff, but they did lose Lego. They lost Lego, I believe, to Universal. Yes, Juan, the She-Hulk breakdown will be today. That's why I was a few minutes late starting today's stream as I was filming it, and I will edit it after this. So, oh, that's right, Wallflower. Scooby-Doo, Hanna-Barbera. Just pause any frame of Space Jam 2, and you'll see all the brands that they have. They have tons of brands. Hey, my love for movies, thanks for joining. That's right, Per Kristen, Dune. That's right, Dune is a new one. Dune! Let's hope that works out. I really like the first Dune. I'm excited about Dune 2. Dune could go on forever. All right, so that's the first story of the day. All right, now for the second story of the day. Hold on. Boop. Man, I messed up on the graphics today. I covered up this. I didn't get rid of that thing over the Fantastic Four logo. Hey, Haunted Autumn. Darn it. All right, so anyway. It was also revealed yesterday that Hollywood Reporter got to do an interview with Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige confirmed that it will not be an origin story. He said, who doesn't know the origin of the Fantastic Four? They've told it twice now in movies, and it's also been done many times in animation, etc. I'm glad it's not going to be another origin story, and that's the same thing they did with Spider-Man. They did not tell Spider-Man's story once again. He was already Spider-Man when he entered the MCU. So I'm excited about that. As I said just yesterday, I don't want the Fantastic Four to be teenagers, as they were in the Ultimate Fantastic Four series, and I'm also concerned that the X-Men are going to be teenagers. Now, if he's not doing an origin story for Spider-Man, and he's not doing an origin story for Fantastic Four, does that mean he also won't do an origin story for the X-Men? Now, that one to me is a little bit tough. Because where have the X-Men been? Also, where have the Fantastic Four been all this time? It's been a decade of stories. A decade of stories. So if you're not going to do origin stories, where have these people been? I think there's some chance, this isn't tea, this is just a theory. I do wonder if perhaps, yes, as Ilian just said, and as Miguel just said, I think it's obvious to a number of us, I think there's a very good chance they're trapped in the quantum realm. And I think at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania, they're going to run into the Fantastic Four. And so that would be very interesting. And then they'll have to get out together. Would that mean that the Ant-Man family would be in the Fantastic Four movie? Let's see. But what are you going to do about the X-Men? Where have the X-Men been? Are they in their own universe? I mean, I'm just curious as to what could happen. I think there's an easy out for where the Fantastic Four have been, or they also could have been in space all this time, I guess. But wouldn't if somebody have reported on what happened to them and then they would have disappeared? Like, people would have known about them and they've never been mentioned. So I think it's a little bit weird. Let's see. That's right. Peyton Reed will get his hands on the Fantastic Four, Mika. He's like, at least I got it a little bit. That would be frustrating. I hope he does a good job. As I told you, I would love to be able to say that Peyton Reed made a great movie. It would give me great joy. I do feel that at D23 you will get a Fantastic Four director for sure, and I think there's a very strong chance you'll get the casting. So that would be a great D23 announcement. So let's see what happens. I mean, he has to have saved something for D23, right? All right, so that is the second story of the day. Now for the third story of the day, boom, baby. Oh, oops, I accidentally covered up. Let's move that over. We got to be respectful of Michael B. Jordan. All right. So I was pretty surprised today. The other story I was considering covering was that Kristen Ritter is getting a spin-off of Orphan Black on AMC. And you're like, but are you going to be Jessica Jones? So that news made me a little bit nervous. She might be having a cameo here and there, but it looks like she's not going to have a meaningful participation anytime soon if she's taking an offer like that. So anyway, then I was like, this is a bigger story. This is a bigger story. They want to do a Drago a Drago. It's Drago, right? Yeah, Drago. It's Drago. They want to do a Drago spin-off of the Creed movies and I guess the Rocky franchise overall. I don't know how I feel about this. I think they don't understand the appeal of JP Doer. I appreciate that. I'll try and get back to it, but I can't break the story to answer a comment now. But you can ask me that question. I'll try and get back to that when I'm doing the Ask Me Anything section. So anyway, I think that Creed is very popular for a specific reason, which we'll get into in a moment. But Robert Lawton apparently wrote a spec script called Becoming Rocky, which was about the making of Rocky, which to me sounds like the Rocky version of The Offer. And The Offer is one of the best things I've ever seen ever on TV. It's one of the best shows ever, but nobody watched it, and it didn't get any Emmy nominations. So it's just completely, it's like if a tree falls in the wood and no one hears it, did it really fall over? So if a great show was made, but no one watched it or paid any attention to it, doesn't really matter. And it's sad. Hey, enter for none. So anyway, The Offer was great. And I really tell you, please go watch it. But anyway, so they're like, wow, hey, Mellow Yellow. They're like, wow, nobody watched The Offer. We're not making this Rocky movie. But this guy's writing is pretty good. So they hired him, MGM hired him to do a Drago spin-off. And of course, Drago's son was in Creed 2, played by Florian Montaño, as you can see there on the bottom. And Dolph Lundgren even returned. I wonder if they could get Stallone to do this. Stallone's pretty upset right now about the Rocky situation. He's fighting publicly over getting access to the rights. He's like, think of my children. But here's the thing. He signed that contract very early on in his career when he was a nobody. He was like a hoodlum number one, or even maybe hoodlum number two in a Woody Allen movie. The guy had no career, and he got to be the star of a movie that he'd written. That's so unusual. Usually, they will let you have a supporting role in the movie that you wrote. You don't get to be the star of it. So it was a really unusual situation, but it worked out. And I think that the gift that Stallone got was becoming a movie star. And he went on to do a lot of stuff. I think that he has rights to other things, like what about The Expendables, right? I think that it's just, I don't really think it's fair to try and guilt the producer and who gave him a fair deal that he should give rights to Rocky to his child. I mean, maybe Stallone could offer to buy into the brand, but I don't think that anyone's going to gift it. I just think it's not going to happen. Why would that guy do it? What about his kids? All right, so anyway, because, these things, this is a gift that will keep on giving, as you can see. They're going to keep making Rocky movies forever, because MGM doesn't have a lot of brands. So anyway, I think Drago, we'll see. I think that definitely Dolph Lundgren would return. I don't know if they would keep Florian Montaño, because I think you want an actor to star in something like this who's at the level of Michael B. Jordan, who's a really good actor and really good. So I think that's really important. Maybe it could be the origin of Drago, young Drago. What was it like in Russia? Although today, these days, Adam, I'm going to get to questions in just a moment. These days, do people want to watch a movie about Russia? Unless it's a commentary on like some of the problems in Russia that even Drago had to deal with. But, how would that movie play? I mean, like, what would happen to that movie otherwise? I mean, it's an interesting situation. I don't see a path forward here. I don't see broad appeal, to be honest with you. The reason that Creed worked out so well is that, Ryan Coogler, who was a big fan of the Rocky movies, which made it all the more tragic that Stallone forgot to thank him at the Golden Globes. That was one of the most shocking, horrible things I ever saw. Especially because Ryan Coogler watched those movies with his dad, and it came from such a good, wonderful place, and to have it tarnished by that, I thought was really sad. So anyway, Ryan Coogler reimagined that franchise very cleverly and with heart. He had Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson as stars, and I think it gave, there have been a lot of boxing movies, but it was one that focused on the black community, which I thought was really, really strong. And that was like something that hadn't really been done at that level before. So it was really great. Really, really wonderful. Now they're making a Creed 3. And by the way, the director of Creed 2 has gone on to do the new Transformers movie. So Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan is making his directorial debut. Montaño is actually returning. And Jonathan Majors is going to be in the movie. So this is going to be great. Thank you, Jose. And Stallone is a producer, but no word as to whether or not Stallone is actually going to appear. But I think they should just make Creed movies or build up the Drago role in the Creed films. I don't understand how anybody... Does anybody here have an interest in a Drago movie? Oh, that's Jonathan Majors. He's fighting with everybody. He's the villain in the MCU. Yeah, see, most of you aren't interested. I mean, so like I see one or two yeses, but for the most part, I think the magic. I mean, Stallone, I think, never really understood how lucky he was that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan wanted to do that movie. No, definitely we all want to watch Creed 3. Creed 3, I think I'm very excited about. I'm talking about the Drago movie. All right, so, okay, let's get to the Ask Me Anything portion. These run for 10 minutes. It's 5:55, so until 6:05, you can ask me anything that you would like. I don't necessarily have to answer it, but you can give it a shot. So Ray Skywalker says, big Norma Jean fan. I'm very worried about Blonde. I hate that people turn Marilyn into the sexual caricature. She was so smart and amazing. It's sad. Yeah, I mean, I tweeted about that earlier today, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I said I didn't want to give the movie any publicity. But I will just say that I feel like to imagine the rape of a real person and to do it in a glamorous setting of movies, I think it's just really dangerous and it's a slippery slope. And I think that it should never have been done. And I'm disappointed with everybody involved. Let's see here. Nate Brennan says, hey Grace, long-time listener, first-time caller. Which creative project are you the most looking forward to in the coming year? Thank you so much for doing this stream today. Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Nate. I think that what I'm the most excited about is probably Avatar and Black Panther 2. I think those are going to be two great movies. I'm very excited about Avatar 2 because I feel like it actually has piqued my interest even though I disliked the first movie so much. And I'm curious to see what James Cameron does. I mean, before Terminator Dark Fate, it used to be never bet against James Cameron. So is he going to mess up twice? Let's see. And then also, I think Black Panther 2, I think looks like just really incredible. I felt it was going to be incredible, and I thought that it was extremely strong from the trailer. Callaghan says, is Doom in Wakanda forever? I think there is a very, very good chance. I can't say with 100% certainty, especially because, as has been revealed, these things change up until the last minute. But I do believe Doom will be an end credit scene or end tease in that movie. Let's see here. Oh, Jason says, right before seeing you tonight, I saw something for Olivia Colman playing Union Jack in Secret Invasion. Any truth? I can't, that's like such a big spoiler. Hey, Hasno, welcome back. But I wouldn't say that wasn't true. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you guys don't want to, know everything to be what's going on in these shows, right? Rodney, I'm very excited for Cameron Diaz. I hope that, I hope she's in a good project. Keith says, will you do a Harley Quinn spoiler review? I will probably maybe do a Harley Quinn spoiler review when the show finishes. There's such low, it's trending on Twitter, or it was at least the other day a little bit. Never top 10, but it did get to the top 25, which made me very happy. I don't know. I'll have to see how the show does and when it wraps. But I would like to be able to do a spoiler review, but it definitely doesn't have enough viewership to warrant a week to week, which is too bad. See here. JB says, love the stream, Grace. Henry Cavill is Dr. Doom. I do not believe that's who. I mean, I know you guys really want Henry Cavill to jump over to Marvel to like really stick it to DC, but I don't believe that's the case. Hey, Evan. Banjo says, hey, Grace, do you think that Fantastic Four can introduce scientific multiversal travel since it's mostly been mystical? They've been in another universe, maybe? I mean, I used to say Kevin Feige wants to keep it simple. He really threw that out the window. So, I mean, maybe they could have that happen, but I don't. I mean, let's see. I mean, that seems a little bit messy to me. Funny edits. I got Only Murders in the Building screeners, and I was so compelled by the mystery. I was like, I just want to know who the killer is right now. So I watched all of them only to find out they only gave me the first 8 of 10. So I'm way ahead of everybody, but I still don't know who the killer is because they didn't give me the final 2 episodes. I was so frustrated, but I've been enjoying it. I think it's a great show, but not many people are talking about it this season, which is interesting. People used to talk about it a whole lot the first season, and I think maybe it's just too crowded. Maybe it didn't pick a good time to drop. Maybe they should have had it drop in August. Let's see. Let's see here. Carlos says, is Quantumania darker than expected? I heard the trailer at Comic-Con was surprisingly serious. No. Quantumania might have some serious elements, but it's a very silly movie. I mean, it's got MODOK in it. It's super silly. Mellow Yellow says, how many more mid-films do you think the MCU has before audiences tune out? You know, that's an interesting question. I think the problem is that they always have something good for people to want to see. They're like, well, you could boycott this movie, but don't you want to see MODOK and Bill Murray? And you're like, oh, yeah. And we're probably going to introduce the Fantastic Four here. And you're like, well, I guess I better go and see it then, right? Or you're like, oh, you know, should I watch this? And the Marvels. And they're like, well, if you don't watch the Marvels, you know, you're not going to really know what's going on with well, I don't really know what the Marvels has to make you watch it, quite frankly. You're not going to see the dance number. So just think about that. So let's see. Matt Damrich says, how likely is it that Barbie will be a big hit? I think Barbie will be a huge hit. Heglio, I'm so sad to hear you have monkeypox. I'm glad we're cheering you up. People, take monkeypox seriously. This is a definite thing. In 3 weeks, that's very serious. Thank you for bringing that to people's attention, and I hope you feel better soon. Bowd says, any other upcoming characters in the MCU you think will reveal as a mutant like Kamala Khan? No, I think next you're going to get actual mutants. Danny, I haven't heard anything about who the Fantastic Four are. I don't have any Fantastic Four casting news for you. I haven't heard anything about who they're casting. I did tell you that I heard that they felt that there was some chance that, you know, Michael Fassbender might be Doom. It could be Cruz, but I think you can see the kind of person they're going for. If they can pull off Doom, I mean, the guy's got a helmet on his face all the time. That's a tough role. Whelmed, you made the stream. How do you think Feige is going to explain prejudice against mutants when other characters that would pass as mutants have existed in the MCU for a while now? You know, that's a great question, and somebody addressed that in the comments of one of my videos, and I agree with it. I think that they're probably going to point out that everything else is like an accident. Like, anyone could have a chemical dropped on them or be bitten by a radioactive spider. But the idea of humanity evolving, and, you know, if you're not a mutant, you know, you being left in the dust. I mean, just look at the fight between the coasts and Middle America. You know, I think, you know, Wall Street versus Main Street. I think the idea of being left behind is very scary. And I think that could be really interesting. So I like it. Degenba says, do you think if Miles Teller did his shimmy on The Offer, more people would watch it? His shimmy? Is that like his dance that he had? I'm not sure. Miles Teller, his star is back on the rise. I hope he gets something really good. But he said they're already talking about doing another Top Gun, maybe. KK says, when do you think they're going to come out with another X-Men movie, Grace? So the rumor is 2025, and that's like pretty much only when Kevin Feige has new release dates available anyway. So I think that's probably when you're going to get it. But again, I don't mind waiting, as long as, you know, it's good. Ryan, I'm not sure who I would cast as the Fantastic Four. I just want them to be full-fledged adults. Someone who mentioned Amanda Seyfried, who I thought was a good choice. Someone mentioned Samara Weaving. You know, she's up for any role of a blonde. But I like Samara Weaving, so I would love to see her in any role. You know, she can dye her hair. She could be anybody. Let's see here. Andrew says, do you feel that Marvel needs to prioritize quality over quantity? I wish that they would, but I think they have a real problem and they need to feed the beast. And they need to combat churn. And also, there are so many characters that people are saying, please bring that character, and also that's how they keep you interested. They're like, oh, look at this character you're going to get. Look at this character. Oh, isn't this character exciting? And so that's like so they not only need to do it to appease fans, but to hold your attention. I haven't heard anything about that, about contracts, Devin. Carice says, thank you, Carice. Any Doom Patrol news? I haven't heard anything about Doom Patrol. I think, you know, the HBO Max originals have really struggled. I mean, let's see which secondary or, you know, next seasons actually get made. Ben Morton says, I'm a huge fan of Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness. I'm so excited for Coven of Chaos, and I wonder if you've heard anything about the show Any thoughts on Agatha Harkness going forward in the MCU? I haven't heard anything specific about that, except I know that, that casting leak about, having an LGBT young character on the show. But I do believe if you call something Coven of Chaos, I don't see how Wanda could not be a part of it. That would be interesting to see the two of them team up. Maybe Agatha needs to help Wanda regain her strength, and your best enemy, your big enemy becomes your best ally. Troy, they got to announce Deadpool 3 soon. I mean, they're writing it. Maybe a D23. Brett, I have to see how much is actually in Spider-Man No Way Home. The new extended cut. Like, how much are they actually adding? Carlos says, what Phase 5 project are you the most excited about? I'm actually planning to make a video tomorrow to rank the Phase 5 projects, but since you asked, I will say right off the top of my head, I have to think about it, so this might not be what ends up in the video tomorrow. But as for Phase 5 and Phase 6 really blending together in my head, because I'm very excited about the 2 new Avengers movies. But I guess for Phase 5, I'm interested in Captain America New World Order and Thunderbolts, which actually both spin out of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Thank you, Jose. That's really sweet, and I like your sticker a lot there. We're both number 1. I love it. Let's see here. Sion says, is it true that Secret Invasion had to go through reshoots because of the Russia-Ukraine situation? I haven't heard that specifically, but I did hear that they, at some point in development, and I think they replaced showrunners. I know they felt they didn't have enough scrolls. They were like, we need more scrolls. So that's something they had to go back and take care of. Oh, Cody, I'm excited for the watch along tomorrow too. If you're a BTT Film Club member, movie club, we're watching Rear Window tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Maybe, Cody, maybe a popular film. If there's a specific film you'd like to watch, please let me know. Al Watch says, Grace, I high-key recommend you finish Young Justice. I feel bad. I haven't been able to get into that. I said I would, but right now I'm watching Sandman, which is so good. So Al Watch says, also, what's for dinner tonight? I'm getting chicken nuggets after the gym. That's awesome. I love that you're working out and then rewarding yourself. I might make myself, a burger tonight. I got some really good lean, 95% lean meat. So I might do that. Am I a Skrull, Noobbot Gaming? That's pretty funny. I do not like cats. That's true. I like cats a little bit. I like them a little bit. Bye, Danny. Oh, David, you're going to see Lady Gaga tomorrow? That'll be fantastic. Oh, Spying Mentor says, what are your thoughts on the Oppenheimer trailer? Yeah, I didn't get to react to it. I'm sorry. I'm still having some personal issues that I'm dealing with, so my schedule's a little off. I thought it was medium. I thought they didn't make it clear enough that he invented the atomic bomb. They were just like, what's this? Although I was like, that's Robert Downey Jr. talking. Hey, Mika, will hashtag recast T'Challa hurt Wakanda Forever's box office? I really hope they make it clear that there are male characters who are taking over the mantle coming very soon, and there's nothing wrong with Shuri getting her shot for one freaking movie. I hope that it doesn't, but I think you can't ignore a very loud commentary. But I think there would have been a loud commentary either way that he went. I think they just, it was a difficult situation, but it's certainly not more difficult for anybody than Chadwick Boseman, who unfortunately had to pass away. So I think, when you keep that in mind, I think that, it's just a comic book movie. Although I know some people have talked about the representation of black male heroes, which is of course extremely important. But I also want to point out that the representation of black female heroes, especially with colorism, is important. And Black Panther, especially Wakanda Forever, is making great strides in that area. And don't forget that Sam Wilson is now Captain America. Hey, D. Moore. And that movie's coming up. He's gotten a whole movie. All right, I missed some stuff here. Carlos says, is there a chance Marvel might be bold and reveal in Secret Invasion that one of our well-established heroes was always a Skrull? I'm trying to find out, Carlos. If they don't do that, that's really going to be a waste of the whole story. But I hear the focus is on no-name characters for the most part. I think they just have to have a major character be a Skrull. But when would that be explored? Kevin Feige's dance card is full for such a long period of time. How could you be like, guess who's a Skrull? We'll address it in 3 years. And you'll be like, what? Chris Brown says, hey, Grace, I finally got here for a live. I'm so glad you did. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh, let's see here. I think I'm pretty good, caught up to everybody. My Love for Movies says, what is your most anticipated movie for the rest of the year? As I said, I'm very excited about Black Panther 2 and Avatar 2. And then Kevin Meese says, Grace, do you think The Whale could be an Oscar contender for Brendan Fraser and Sadie Sink? The play was amazing, but definitely controversial. Let's see. You know, Brendan Fraser's had a very rough time of it. So I'm curious to see how far he goes in exploring that. And, you know, it's Darren Aronofsky, and he's very hit or miss. But, you know, I think people are definitely paying attention to it, and that's half the battle right there. That's right. Beyonce's album's dropping very soon, Ace. I saw some stories about how she's changing the game. I'd expect no less from Queen Bee. Let's see here. Jorge says, Grace, will Sokovia be the Latveria of the MCU? That would be great. I never heard of that theory before, Jorge. I absolutely adore it. You thought Wanda was pissed. Dr. Doom is like, I gotta wear this stupid metal outfit all the time. I'm suing you. Alex Cruz, I appreciate your passion. Let's see here. I'm not sure about Oscar frontrunners just yet, Platinum Diva. I would think Elvis, maybe for Austin Butler getting a nomination, but I don't know about a win. Keith, I heard some stuff about Werewolf by Night, but I'm not at a point where I can share it. Juan Carlos, I'm not sure about a Pinocchio watch-along because I'm going to be watching it to review it, and then I'm going to want to watch it with my dad because it's one of his favorite movies of all time. So, and then also it's going to drop right in the middle of D23, and I'm going to be like in D23 mode. I'm going to be making tons of videos. I'm very excited. Callaghan, I'd love to see Angela Bassett get nominated for an Oscar. I think off the trailer alone, she deserves a nomination. Danny O, Julia Garner is supposedly playing Madonna, but it doesn't seem like a deal was ever finalized. They certainly didn't announce it. Let's see here. Poke 1855. I'm not quite sure when the Young Avengers are coming as a team, as a cohesive team. You already have a number of them already in the space. Juan, the animated Pinocchio. Maybe. Although a lot of BTT Movie Club members have said they want to watch more live action things, so I want to be respectful of that. Big Matt says, saw an article saying the reason the X-Men is not soon is because there was a clause in the Fox buyout that they couldn't recast the characters, only previous actors could do the parts. Is there any truth to that? I haven't heard anything about that. I would imagine that the contracts, I mean, why would they all end in 2025? That doesn't really make too much sense to me, but it could be the case. I mean, look at that ridiculous problem that Universal with the Hulk rights, right? And then Universal, which is keeping Warner Brothers from developing any Harry Potter shows publicly. Thanks, Keith. Oh, iHeart Movie says, how would you do a Hocus Pocus watch along? You know, maybe we will do a Hocus Pocus watch along. That could be a lot of fun. Ravendra says, do you think that 2 Avengers movies in the same year might be a bad financial decision? No, I don't. I think that it's just I think it kind of sucks for every other movie that year. I think they're going to really take up a lot of space. But if the movies are told right, and I suspect they will be, it should be pretty exciting. Carlos Diaz says, what are you looking most forward to at D23? Little Mermaid. That's supposed to have our first look. I'm very excited about that. And I'll do just a few more. I know I'm a little over time, but I'm having a good time talking to everybody. Max Rollo says, did you see Laura Linney got her star on the Walk of Hollywood fame? I'm so happy for her. She did not get enough credit for her work on Ozark, even though she was so unlikable. But that was the point of the character. Josh Loves Movies points out that Snow White might be also at D23. That's true. There very much could be. Dancing Dog 60, I don't believe DC Fandom is coming back. Not this year, at least. They might bring it back at another time, but who would run it? As I said yesterday, there's nobody in the DC office, basically. Barbie Minaj, maybe Percy Jackson at D23. Not a trailer, but maybe a first look of them in character. Although they'd just be like, what, in camp outfits? But still. Ira, I'm not sure why you didn't get a notification for the live stream. I have another account subscribed to my channel so I can make sure that these things are working. And I got a notification. Do you have all notifications turned on? Like all notifications turned on? Albie says, what do you think of Penn Badgley as Mr. Fantastic? I think he's a little slight for the role, but he's very good at being kind of evil. And that, of course, is the whole point of him, right? You know, Reed Richards is supposed to be a little bit off. Let's see here. Oh, really? Mumra, Winning Time got a Blu-ray. Why not more Blu-rays? That's interesting. They put the show on there. They also put The Gilded Age on Blu-ray, I think. HBO is an interesting business model. Is anyone buying these Blu-rays? I don't understand why you wouldn't just... Who's not subscribed to HBO Max? I mean, they have such incredible content. Oh, thank you, Jose. I'm glad, Emmanuel, I'm so glad you liked the live stream. I'm so glad everybody had a good time. Thank you so much for joining me for today's live stream. I'm going to do a couple of shout outs, but I just wanted to thank you for joining everybody. You know, it's going to take some getting used to have so many more comments, which is fun. I think that I want to make sure I respect people who are members, so I believe we'll be doing these every other week. So every other week we'll do an open stream. But thank you. I mean, it was just really fun doing this with all of you. Really, really fun. All right, so let me do some shout outs. Now, the way shout outs work is that you're like, hey, what's up, man? You know, you just tell me where you are, what you're doing, just so I have some way to interact with you. And boy, we're moving fast. Let's see here. I just want to be able to, just for a couple of you, for me to be able to say your name. Goncala says, I'm in Portugal, big fan of you. Thank you, that means so much. You have a great weekend too, Neo Arts. Let's see here. Danny O is eating an apple in Chicago. Thaddeus Green is at the gym in Los Angeles. Bye, the boy wonder. Let's see here. Late Code is in Seattle. John Hunter says, listening from Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's awesome. I love Chattanooga. That's such a great name for a city. So I'm so glad that you were able to participate today. Thomas Milana is making his son mac and cheese for dinner. That's the sweetest. That's the sweetest. Thank you, Dove Squires. That was very kind of you. I'm glad you're a new member too, Poke 1855. Svex is in Amsterdam watching old season of RuPaul's Drag Race and watching this amazing stream. Yay. Let's see here. Callaghan said, new member today, about to go bowling with friends. I love to go bowling. I haven't gone bowling in such a long time. It's so fun. Let's see here. Belen Perez says, watching you from Argentina while trying to get blue hair dye out of my hair because I got bored of the color. But I have to say, if I ever dyed my hair a bright color, it would be blue. I think blue hair is pretty awesome. Pablo is eating tacos in Corpus Christi, Texas. Oh, delicious. That sounds so tasty. Hey, Tanya. That's so nice of you. That's very sweet of you to welcome everybody. Hey, Naughties92 in Melbourne, Australia. Good day to you. Let's see. I'm trying to, some of you, I know you're members. I'm trying to prioritize saying hi to people who are non-members because other people, Dub, thank you for just joining. Because other people I can say hi to you other times. Eduardo says watching from Brazil and watching Green Lantern, Beware My Power. You know, Aldous Hodge, I watched the trailer for that, and Aldous Hodge did such a good job with his line readings. I was like, kind of felt bad that he wasn't Jon Stewart instead of Hawkman. Let's see here. Hippo for Eyes 1 says, hi Grace from Hickory, North Carolina, eating chicken strips with Chick-fil-A sauce. Oh, delicious. I love chicken nuggets, as many people know who watch the streams regularly. Robbie Mann says, let's see, in England reading Children's Crusade. I have a lot of comic book reading to do this month too. Got a lot of stories to catch up on and refresh so I can cover them. Hey Max Vem, thanks for joining. Let's see here. Hey Ari. I'm glad you were able to participate again today. Rejoin whenever you can. I understand. Stuff happens. Totally get it. Navy EMT, I hope you're having a great day in Disney. That's so nice that you were able to still join. Grayson says, just got home from work and unboxed some Funkos while watching the stream. I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Oh, that's so great. That's awesome. I saw Funkos taking up the top of the trend the other day. It was really incredible. I was like, what are all these pops? First pop, best pop, last pop. And I was like, that's the power of Funko. Let's see here. Declan says, I went to Shanghai Disneyland for the 7th time this week. Oh, I'm jealous. Making the most of my annual pass before I move back to London. Excellent use of your time. I hope you had a good time. That is an incredible park. Did you go to the big castle and everything? Oh, I would love to go to Shanghai Disneyland. I'd love to go there. Jorge Guzman says, I'm folding clothes while watching you. Oh, that's great. I'm glad to keep you company while you do your chores. Ragu says, celebrating my last day at a horrible job. Woohoo! Congratulations on your freedom. Starting your new job on Tuesday. Love from Ireland. Oh, Ragu, I'm so glad things worked out for you. You know, you stayed with it. You got yourself out of the situation, and now you have a brighter future ahead of you. Oh, Josh says, watching while waiting in the airport to go to Jamaica. Oh, someone's got some summer traveling to do. I love it. K-Flick says, hi, Grace. Enjoying your stream while having a vegan banh mi sandwich. Oh, that sounds tasty. I've never had that before. Hey, David. I'm glad you had fun today. That's awesome. Let's see here. Armando. Oh, thank you, Armando. That's very sweet of you. Subicio, I always love seeing you on Twitter. I love when you guys have your YouTube avatars match your Twitter avatars, because then I can really get to know you. So Subicio says, hey Grace, I'm playing the new multiverse game, Harley Quinn rules. Oh, that's awesome. That game does look pretty cool. Melanie says, crocheting a blanket in quarantine. Thanks for bringing us the latest news. My pleasure. I'm sorry you're in quarantine, but I'm glad you're able to keep busy and keep your spirits up. Let's see here. I don't knit, but I have a friend who knits, and she really gets a lot of joy out of it. Carlito is from the Philippines. Hey, how you doing? Oh, TC Mads. Been a fan since 2016. Oh, that really makes me feel so nice. Carlos Diaz says, just got a job offer in real estate. Celebrating with you. Oh, congratulations. Oh, look, Hole for Harry is watching from Fiji. Oh, I'm jealous. And Fabian Gruning is in Hanover, Germany, about to go to sleep. Aw. This was so fun. I'm glad I got to talk to a number of you who I don't usually get to talk to. You can always reach me on Twitter. I'm pretty good at responding to nice people. Or at least, I will like a tweet if I see it. Harlequin Dove says, my son doesn't believe you're live, so please give us a shout out. Hey, Harlequin Dove and son. It's live. It's live. Look, Elliot Bullock is playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, that was a great game. And Alex Padilla is watching from Mexico. Oh, you guys are great. You guys are so much fun. Oh, and Lance is in Pittsburgh. Since 2015, you've been watching BTT. That makes me feel so nice. I have relatives in Pittsburgh. Great city. Fabulous city. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go edit that She-Hulk trailer breakdown now. And thank you for joining me. And live streams will return next week. All right. And also, if you are a BTT Movie Club member, don't forget at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, we're going to watch Rear Window together. You need your own copy of the film to participate, but that video will stay up and be available for BTT Movie Club members only if they would like to watch it at a different time and can't join in live. Okay, everybody, bye.